Okay, so ready to dive into something a little different.
Always. When we got
Today it's not the most glamorous topic,
sure. Fine.
but it's something that affects a ton of people. We're talking hemorrhoids and constipation.
Oh, okay, yeah. Not exactly light dinner conversation.
Right. But seriously, the research here is actually super interesting. And
It's got to be better than suffering in silence.
exactly, understanding this stuff can make a real difference.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your health.
So first things first, let's define what hemorrhoids actually are.
Right, because there's a lot of, I think, mystery around it.
Yeah, totally.
Well, they're basically swollen veins.
Okay.
In the rectum and anus, think varicose veins, but like in a much more delicate area.
Oh, okay.
And they can cause, pain, itching, even bleeding.
Ouch. Yeah. Not pleasant.
Definitely not.
And one of the biggest culprits our sources point to is chronic constipation.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Can you explain that connection?
It all comes down to pressure. When you're constipated, you tend to strain more during bowel movements.
Right.
And all that pushing puts extra pressure on the veins down there, causing them to bulge and become inflamed.
Wow. So the harder you push, the greater the risk of those veins becoming hemorrhoids.
Exactly.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's not just constipation that contributes to this pressure. Pregnancy is a big factor, too.
Right. Of course, the weight of the baby would add to that.
Exactly. And even just prolonged sitting, like at a desk or even on the toilet.
Oh, wow. So it's really about minimizing that pressure as much as possible.
Exactly. And that's where lifestyle changes come in and some natural remedies.
Okay, so let's talk solutions. Our sources really emphasize fiber as crucial. Can you remind us why fiber is so important and what it actually does in our digestive system?
Sure, fiber basically adds bulk to your stool, making it softer and easier to pass.
Okay.
Think of it like a sponge.
All right.
When it absorbs water, it expands and it's much easier to, move and squeeze. Fiber does the same in your digestive tract.
Okay, so more fiber equals less straining, which means less pressure on those veins.
Exactly. And there are different types of fiber, each with its own benefits.
Yeah.
You've got soluble fiber found in things like oats and beans.
Okay.
That dissolves in water and forms this gel-like substance, which helps to slow down digestion and can even lower cholesterol.
Interesting.
Yeah. Then there's insoluble fiber, which doesn't dissolve in water.
Okay.
It kind of acts like a broom, sweeping through your digestive tract and adding bulk to your stool. That helps things move along more efficiently. You find this type of fiber in foods like whole grains, fruits, and veggies.
So we need both.
A balanced approach is best, yeah.
Makes sense.
Aim for a colorful plate, lots of variety.
And something that caught my eye in the research was this idea of increasing fiber intake gradually. Why is that so important?
If you suddenly overload your system with fiber, you can end up with gas, bloating,
Oh, right.
discomfort, basically the opposite of what we want.
Right, so ease into it.
Exactly. Start slowly, let your body adjust.
Okay, solid advice. Now on to the other essential element. Water.
Ah, yes, the unsung hero of digestion.
Absolutely. It keeps things moving smoothly, right?
It's crucial. Water keeps your stool soft, hydrated, which makes it, easier to pass, reduces strain.
Okay.
Think of fiber as like the building blocks, and water is the cement that holds it all together.
Got it. So we need enough fiber to create that bulk and enough water to keep everything moving smoothly. They work together.
Exactly.
And speaking of keeping things moving, we have to talk about exercise. Does that play a role here?
Oh, absolutely. Regular physical activity helps stimulate digestion.
Really?
Yeah, it's like giving your intestines a gentle massage.
Interesting. So getting your heart rate up can also benefit your digestive system.
Exactly. Even a brisk walk every day can make a difference.
Okay, so we've covered the foundational stuff. Fiber, water, exercise.
The basics.
But our sources also point to some natural remedies, and this is where it gets interesting. Olive oil.
Yeah. It might sound surprising, but olive oil can be a real game changer for digestion.
Really? How does that work?
It acts as a lubricant, basically. Helps things slide along more easily. It's got anti-inflammatory properties, too, which can help soothe any irritation.
So it's like a 2-for-1 solution.
Exactly.
And I saw our source mentioned taking a teaspoon of olive oil on an empty stomach each morning.
Yeah, that can be a great way to kind of kickstart your digestion.
Okay.
Some people find it helpful. Others might prefer to just incorporate it into their meals.
Good point.
It's about finding what works for you.
Makes sense. Now, olive oil isn't the only natural remedy out there. What else do we have?
Well, there's aloe vera gel. You know, it's known for its soothing anti-inflammatory properties.
Right.
Applying it directly can provide some relief.
Makes sense. And I also see flax seeds on this list.
Ah, yes. Flax seeds are great. You get the fiber, both soluble and insoluble, plus omega-3 fatty acids, which can benefit digestion too.
So kind of a multitasker.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And finally, we have the mysterious sitz bath. What is that and how does it help?
It's basically a warm, shallow bath that you sit in for a bit, maybe 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
The warm water helps increase blood flow to the area, reduces inflammation and discomfort. You can even add Epsom salts for extra soothing.
So it's like a spa treatment for your,
Exactly.
Right.
A simple, natural way to ease discomfort.
This is all great information. We've covered a lot, but I'm really curious to learn more about preventing these issues in the first place. Let's dive into that next. Okay, so we've talked about easing discomfort, but what about preventing these issues in the first place?
Prevention, the best medicine. Right.
Exactly. So let's break it down. Where do we start?
Well, we already touched on the biggies. High fiber diet, lots of water, and regular exercise.
Right. So fruits, veggies, whole grains, all that good stuff.
Exactly. And remember, increase that fiber intake slowly. We don't want any digestive surprises.
Got it. Slow and steady. Now, beyond those basics, what else can we do to prevent hemorrhoids and constipation?
Let's talk toilet habits.
Ooh, interesting. What do we need to know?
First and foremost, avoid straining.
Okay.
It's one of the main culprits behind hemorrhoids.
So, no more pushing with all our might.
Nope. If things aren't moving, get up, move around, try again later.
Okay.
And this might sound a little weird, but consider using a stool to prop up your feet when you're on the toilet.
A stool,
Yeah.
like a little footrest.
Yep. It might seem strange, but it helps align your rectum in a way that makes bowel movements easier, less strain.
So it's about creating a more natural position.
Exactly. It mimics squatting, which is actually how our bodies were designed to, well,
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So no straining, maybe a footstool. Anything else about toilet habits?
Don't spend too much time on the toilet.
Oh, I'm guilty of that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to get distracted. But seriously, prolonged sitting puts extra pressure on those veins.
Got it. Get in, do your business, and get out.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Now, are there any specific types of exercise that are particularly helpful?
There are. Walking's fantastic, as we mentioned, but also things like yoga and Pilates.
Really?
Yeah, they engage your core muscles, which can improve bowel function and reduce constipation.
Interesting. I never connected those with digestive health before.
Yeah, they can make a big difference. And even just deep breathing exercises can help relax your abdominal muscles.
Wow, it's all connected. Our movement, stress levels, everything.
It really is.
And of course, if symptoms persist, it's important to see a doctor.
Absolutely. Always better to be safe than sorry.
Right. Now, I have to ask you something a little delicate. We've talked about what goes in, but what about what comes out?
You mean our poop?
Yeah. Can its appearance tell us anything about our health?
You bet. It might seem a little gross, but it's actually pretty fascinating what our poop can reveal.
Okay, I'm all ears. What's normal and what are some red flags?
Ideally, bowel movements should be smooth, sausage-shaped, easy to pass.
Okay, so smooth and effortless is the goal.
Pretty much. Color can vary depending on diet, but generally brown is good.
Makes sense. What about frequency?
That varies a lot, but anywhere from 3 times a day to 3 times a week can be considered normal.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be every day.
Nope. But any sudden changes in your bowel habits, like constipation or diarrhea that lasts for more than a few days, that's something to pay attention to.
So any big changes from your usual routine?
Exactly. And of course, blood in your stool is always a red flag. You should see a doctor right away.
Of course. What about consistency?
Yeah, if your stools are consistently really hard, really loose, or if you see mucus, those could be signs of a digestive issue.
So basically, watch for any changes in color, consistency, frequency, or any blood.
You got it. Your body is talking to you. You just gotta listen.
This is amazing. I never thought I'd be so interested in, well,
It's pretty cool, huh?
it is. So we've covered a lot today. Hemorrhoids, constipation, natural remedies, prevention tips, even poop.
We went from ew to aha in no time.
Exactly. Hopefully our listeners feel empowered to take control of their digestive health.
I hope so too. It's all about knowledge and making those small changes.
Absolutely. Now, before we wrap up, one last thought. If you're struggling with any of this stuff, you are not alone. It's more common than you might think.
Seriously, so many people deal with these issues.
And there's no shame in seeking help. It's actually a sign of strength to take care of yourself.
Couldn't agree more. Sometimes we just need a little extra support, and luckily there are so many resources out there.
Exactly. Now, before we wrap up, I have one last question for you.
Okay, shoot.
We've covered so much today, but if you had to pick one key takeaway for our listeners, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I know, right?
But I think, honestly, the most important thing is to listen to your body.
Yeah,
Pay attention to what it's telling you. If something feels off, don't just ignore it. Your gut's incredibly intuitive.
it's true. We often just get so busy and caught up in everything else, we forget to slow down and actually listen.
Yeah, we push ourselves, ignore our hunger cues, all of that.
But our bodies are really resilient.
They are, incredibly so.
And sometimes it just takes a few small adjustments to get things back on track. We talked about fiber, hydration, movement, stress management.
All within our control.
Exactly. Even though this might not be the most glamorous topic,
True.
I feel so much more empowered after this deep dive.
Me too. It's funny how much we can learn from something we usually don't even think twice about.
Right. So, to all our listeners out there, you have the power to take control of your digestive health. Listen to your body, make those small changes, and don't hesitate to ask for help if you need it.
And hey, now you can wow everyone at your next dinner party with all your poop knowledge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Until next time, everyone, happy digesting.